Hello and welcome back to the Dungeon Master Challenge. I'm your host, Ellis Leewood, and here we are in week 3 of our contest to find the ultimate DM. Now, just in case you've been hit with a mind wipe, here's a recap of how it works. Each week, our competitors are assigned design challenges which are submitted anonymously and then scored by our panel of judges who have no idea who's behind each design. Then the competitor or competitors with the lowest point total for the challenge is eliminated. Last week we had to say goodbye to David Reynolds and asked our 9 remaining competitors to design their most deliciously dastardly villain. What was the judges' take?
Hello, DM Challenge fans and competitors. Amanda Hammond from Wizards of the Coast here to talk about our Week 2 challenge entries. This week's challenge, one of my favorite topics, involved villains. There were a lot of really compelling, interesting, wacky, evil villains that were submitted this week, but I'm going to talk about my 3 favorites. They were, this week, El Platador, which, as it sounds, does indeed involve a luchador, one of my personal favorites. Kelometalex, the Star Eater, who is a dragon villain, and I do love dragons. I work on Dungeons & Dragons after all. But my favorite this week was an entry called Hitch the Cockerel. Hitch the Cockerel just grabbed my heart and made me laugh throughout reading the entire entry. Hitch the Cockerel is an evil awakened rooster who lords over his roost with an iron beak and has an array of humanoids and animals that are his hench people, his hench individuals. The entry had a very cool stat block for Hitch. I had so much fun reading about him. He reminded me of a combination of Hey Hey from Moana, as well as George Orwell's Animal Farm, and I just really was captured by the fun, kooky wackiness of this entry, and I imagined myself as the DM making weird chicken noises and being a tyrant, as it were, with this villain. So, Hitch the Cockerel, well done. Please keep up the good work. Excited to see what everybody has coming next week.
Hey, I'm Jen Kretschmer, and oh my goodness, our DM Challenge competitors brought such a variety of venomous villainy to our 9 scheming baddies this week. But El Platador of Potasio stole the spotlight with his wrestling ring lair actions. Hitch and his barnyard uprising trapped me in a chicken run of hilarity. And once again, I was sweet on Maybelle, the scheming fairy godmother of Slumberwood. Every element of Maybelle's design is so well thought out. From her origin story, how she Hansel and Gretel'd her way into a hag's candy house, and her deaths, really highlighted thematic elements, fairy tale logic, but more importantly, how fey debt is immutable currency. It all directly motivates Maybelle's tactics in combat. She'd always rather set a trap for enemies than kill them directly and risk absorbing more debts. It's a nice twist from the standard inevitable combat with the big bad. A combat with Maybelle seems simple at first glance, but when you factor in her candy lair full of pixies, hidden mimics, and traps that rapidly amplify the difficulty of a fight, it really allows a DM to easily tune combat difficulty up or down for their parties. There's so much to discover about Maybelle, her brother's fate, her Hamlet-esque machinations, and the trouble she found herself in with the Gloaming Court, that Maybelle alone could be the basis for an entire campaign. In fact, she was one of the few villains who really felt like they could sustain player curiosity for the duration of an entire campaign. Her story is chock full of hooks, secrets, mysteries, twists, and turns, all of which have the potential to be played as broad comedy or a truly touching story of a little girl who's still lost in the woods. Her nuance, flexibility, depth of design, and capability of being a fantastic foil truly set her apart this week for me. I can't wait to see everyone's entries for next week.
Hey everybody, B. Dave Walters here. This week had some fantastic submissions. Some of them were just laugh out loud funny, to tell you the truth. And one that I want to highlight is El Platador, who is a banana-themed luchador, which is incredible. I love everything about this stat block. I love the fact that they included mechanics for rumors generated, for the layer actions and even the bonus actions and everything, all contributed to the feeling of having a wrestling match. With an Eladrin that is dressed like a banana, which is incredible. They also included like a bonus second entry of Honquico. I don't know if I said that right, to an already great submission. So yeah, this week really enjoyed El Platador.
Well, after all the designs were reviewed and scored, it's again time for one of our competitors to leave the party. And sadly, this week we'll be saying goodbye to Brian Curran, as well as Orfeo the Fungal Master. For our 8 remaining competitors, however, it's time to counter last week's design with an adventure ingredient that can be a guide and a boon to weary adventurers on their quest. A key non-player character. And we all know how much they can influence a party, for better or for worse. So, once again, it is time to roll for initiative. You have 72 hours. Good luck, Dungeon Masters.